Network headquarters. It's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. And I love bulldozers. Bulldozers are useful. Bulldozers do great things. Bulldozers step in when people can't. Bulldozers are a great symbol of strength and also a symbol of the law. I find bulldozers fascinating and useful, and my hashtag tonight is, and I hope you support me, useful bulldozers. Now, there are some people who say that today the Supreme Court said that there can be no bulldozer justice. That is a lie. The Supreme Court did not say anything like that. The bulldozers are very useful for demolishing illegalities that come in the way of the law. In fact, I would argue that what the Supreme Court has said today is that you must use bulldozers where it is appropriate, right and legal to use bulldozers. Now, viewers, there are a group of people who were very happy when bulldozers broke Kangana Ranaut's home in Mumbai, and when the state government there, the Uddhav Sena, put out in their newspaper, Ukhad Diya, they were very happy when these shots played. At that point of time, the Congress said, well done, we love the bulldozers that are breaking Kangana's home. Hypocrites in the Congress, answer my question. Did you find bulldozers useful then? Did you speak up for what is right or wrong? On what basis were you targeting Kangana Ranaut? Let's go back to the subject now. The bench of the Supreme Court has in fact clarified that its directions will apply if there is, will not apply if there is an unauthorized structure in any public place such as a road, street, footpath, or which is near a rail line, or any place where there is a demolition order allowed by a court of law, which means specifically that everything that Yogi Adityanath has done is right. Because Yogi Adityanath has gone around breaking unauthorized structures which come in the way of public places. The problem with the Lutyens lobby doesn't read into the facts. As per the law, everything, in fact, as per the Supreme Court, it appears to me everything that Yogi Adityanath has done using bulldozers is 100% correct. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some people who say no, regardless of whether a person is a thief, a murderer, a rioter, or a rapist, his house must not be broken, even if the house is unauthorized. Let me flip that argument. What these Congress people are therefore trying to say, according to me, is that people who have carried out a theft, a murder, who have carried out a rape, who have misused the law, have a right to live in an unauthorized structure, build an unauthorized office, or construct an unauthorized building. Reverse the logic. What they are therefore trying to say means that they are trying to incentivize crime. Should it be, therefore, according to the Congress logic and the Lutyens logic, that a person should, in the pendency of a legal defense of an act of crime such as a rape or murder, an act of rioting, dacoity, or theft, in the pendency of the legal defense, be allowed to live in an unauthorized house? If that were to be the bizarre argument, then anybody who lives in an unauthorized house should immediately carry out an act of murder and then go to court and say, my lords, the decision on my act of murder is pending in a court of law. Until then, me and my family have the right to live in an unauthorized house. That is a stupid argument, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the argument I see the Lutyens lobby putting out when they celebrate what the Supreme Court has said. Ladies and gentlemen, let's accept the reality. What has the Supreme Court said? The Supreme Court has merely said, follow a little bit of process in the application of the law. Don't misuse the law. Give them notice, give them 15 days, ask for a reply, let the district magistrate know, and then go and do what the hell you want. And if required, go and get a court order from a court of law. And no court will say don't destroy or demolish the house. Ladies and gentlemen, in no case there has been a big debate on bulldozers, whether Yogi Adityanath is doing the right thing, whether Shivraj is doing the right thing, whether Himanto is doing the right thing. But tell me, is there a single specific case where the Congress party has been able to prove, or the Samajwadi party has been able to prove, that the structure which was demolished is a legal structure? Not one case. Not one case in which the people who are saying we are against bulldozers have been able to prove that the structure which was demolished was an authorized structure. So what is the argument they are putting? They are putting a Jungle Raj argument. They are trying to say that anybody can build any unauthorized structure and carry out any act of murder and rape and rioting or theft, and then say I have a right to live in the unauthorized structure because I have carried out a murder, a rape, an act of killing, and in the pendency of my legal defense, my house cannot be broken either. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep some logic. There was a case, I think it was in Faizabad, Ayodhya, where a Samajwadi party leader, a significant person, was accused of an act of rape and also had an unauthorized building in which he had built a commercial complex. My argument is that that individual Samajwadi party leader was a man who had impunity towards the law. He carried out the act of rape with the same kind of impunity that he carried out the construction of an illegal and unauthorized structure. And the law cannot favor any kind of impunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to live in a country where things are fair to all. You cannot say that I'm a Muslim, so I have greater rights than a Hindu. I want to live in a country, ladies and gentlemen, where there is no fear. There should only be fear of breaking the law. I want to live in a country, and you want to live in a country too, where a person says, I can act out an act of crime and impunity towards the law. I can carry out a murder or a rape or an act of rioting. I can go and attack a Ganesh Chaturthi procession. I can go and attack the Ram Navami procession. I can go and attack a Durga idol immersion procession, and then also continue to live in an unauthorized house. And if anybody questions either of the two cases, I will link them up. And I will say that my house is being demolished because I have carried out an attack on a Ram Navami procession. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to live in a fair country. I want to live in a country where there is a fear of the law. And I build a strong argument tonight that for all the people who have carried out illegal occupation of public places, these are the people who believe they want to link religion and politics, religion and society. They can sit on a public road, sit on a public highway, stop your child from going to school, block the ambulance, build an unauthorized structure, and if you ask them a question, they shall say that we are being targeted because we are from the minority community, and that is completely rubbish. All people from the majority and the minority community both have responsibility towards the law, but also duties towards the law. The unfortunate thing is there is one Congress Samajwadi Party lobby which only wants to remind one side about their responsibilities to the law, that is the Hindu community. And ladies and gentlemen, never apply the same logic to their individual vote banks. That is unfair. And I believe the reading of the Supreme Court verdict today, you must go through that 92-page judgment in detail before you come to quick conclusions. And I can challenge anyone to prove me wrong. Let's debate.
The Supreme Court has issued fresh guidelines regarding the pan-India illegal property demolition drive, popularly known as Bulldozer Justice. A bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and K.V. Vishwanathan gave a rather nuanced verdict. The bench stated, the executive cannot assume the role of a judge or declare someone guilty. The verdict also says that a show cause notice should be mandatory, seeking reply within a certain time frame on the nature of the unauthorized construction and action taken. The proceedings of the demolition shall be videographed according to the Security Council. However, going by the reactions of the lobby, it seems they are reading a motivated meaning into the verdict. While harping on no executive role, the lobby fails to see that there is only stress on process. The lobby is mistaking the details of procedure for a blanket ban on bulldozer operations as a tool to enforce justice when it is found that the accused are not only involved in a crime but seem to be habitual offenders. More importantly, the Supreme Court has categorically maintained that these directions don't apply to unauthorized constructions on public land. Ironically, the same lobby that is celebrating the verdict after completely misinterpreting it was in favor when Kangna's office was mowed down. They were also excited when Chandrababu Naidu's property was demolished. Listen to Samajwadi Party Chief AKHILESH Yadav's reaction to understand the misreading of the verdict.
जिस तरीके से घर तोड़ा गया था बुलडोजर से, उसके खिलाफ कोर्ट में गए और उसके बाद जो जजमेंट आया है, क्या कोई सोच सकता है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सरकार पर 25 लाख का जुर्माना लगाया है? न केवल जुर्माना लगाया है, बल्कि ऐसे दोषी अधिकारियों के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करने के लिए भी कहा है जिन्होंने बुलडोजर चला करके किसी का घर तोड़ने का काम किया है।
Aam Aadmi Party's Saurav Bharadwaj also welcomed it.
ये जो बुलडोजर के नाम पे दादागिरी चल रही थी वैसे भी गैरकानूनी थी और किसी भी सरकार को या उस प्रदेश के हाई कोर्ट को अब तक इसका संज्ञान लेना चाहिए था, तो बड़े शर्म की बात है।
The BJP also weighed in after the landmark order.
पूरे हिंदुस्तान में यदि अपराधियों के मन में कहीं न कहीं डर है तो हमें लगता है कि अपराधियों के मन में डर होना एक अच्छे देश की निशानी होती है।
कोर्ट का बीजेपी ने सम्मान किया है, हम कोर्ट का सम्मान करते हैं।
As the order sparks yet another political to and fro, all eyes remain on the future of bulldozer justice.
Top jurist and senior advocate in the Supreme Court, Aryama and Sundaram, is our first one-on-one tonight. Mr. Sundaram, has the Supreme Court really said, as is being made out, that everything that the Yogi Adityanath government has done or has been wrong vis-a-vis the use of bulldozers to destroy unauthorized constructions?
Arnab, I think the judgment of the Supreme Court is very clear. It is a harsh criticism on two things. One, if this bulldozer demolition is done without authority of law, meaning against a building which is otherwise authorized, but merely because the owner happens to be a person who's a convict or an accused, it is being demolished. They say it cannot be done if the building is legal. Second, they've also been a harsh criticism as to not following the procedure laid down by law. So there is a big difference. Whosoever you are, high or mighty, criminal or not criminal, whoever you are, if your building is unauthorized, it can certainly be demolished. And the judgment will not apply to such buildings, of course with the caveat that the procedure laid down by law of issuing show cause notice and otherwise asking the person to reply and thereafter taking action is followed. The Supreme Court judgment nowhere says that an unauthorized construction, if occupied by any given person, whether they're an accused or whether they're not, or whether they're of a community or not, that building cannot be demolished is not the judgment of the Supreme Court. What they did say was, when you target accused and criminals merely on the ground of being that, of accused or a convict, merely on the ground of being an accused or convict, and demolish his building, that is completely wrong. And I don't think anyone can doubt that. All that is required is, if the building is unauthorized, issue a show cause notice, take action, and of course demolish it. But if the building is authorized, then I do not believe that the law permits anywhere that whosoever the person, the building can be demolished anyway. And that is exactly what the Supreme Court said.
Now, Mr. Sundaram, the Yogi government says that it has given notices, A, to buildings which are not authorized, B, and C, that its act of using the bulldozer has nothing to do with the fact that the individual is involved in any other crime, such as rioting or rape or murder. In that case, what changes?
If that is a fact, if in fact, as the government says, that show cause notice has been issued, the building is unauthorized, and it has been applied irrespective of the nature of the person who's made that unauthorized construction, I see nothing wrong in it. And the Supreme Court judgment
I'll open up to calls.
will not in any way come in the way of such an action. And it will not interdict any such action, as what you have just pointed out.
This is such a useful conversation. My attempt on the debate now at 9 o'clock is always to involve the viewer. And viewers now have a chance to speak directly to one of the topmost advocates in the country on such issues as well as constitutional law, Aryama Sundaram. Ladies and gentlemen, the person on your screen, Aryama Sundaram, has had a stellar reputation as an advocate. He was earlier in Chennai and then he moved to Delhi more than 20 years back and is one of the most respected senior advocates of the Supreme Court. You can ask him a question or two in case you need clarity so that you don't think, though I cannot put words in Aryama Sundaram's mouth. Viewers, calls are on. I'll take one or two calls. Mr. Sundaram, my next question to you before the calls come in is this. Is it that the Yogi government or any state government now has to go to the court and get a court order to carry out the act of demolition? Because that may take time.
Not so at all. In fact, the statutes which deal with constructions and with development and with town and country planning development always provide for a mechanism that if there's an unauthorized construction, the executive themselves, the authority themselves, can issue necessary notice and after receipt of reply to the notice can proceed with any punitive action, including demolition. If the person against whom such demolition is being moved is aggrieved and say that there is an authorized construction but has wrongly been held to be unauthorized, it is for them to go to court, not for the authority to go to court to get permission to demolish.
So if a person gets a notice, you can go to the court and seek instruction, and in only that case, the government has to reply and then get an order passed. Now, what happens is that orders may get challenged in higher courts. What happens then?
So when a notice is issued, the person replies.
Yes.
And upon his reply, if the demolition is directed, not being satisfied with it, yes, the person can go to court. But in my experience, if the court is satisfied, at the very first hearing, the court has to be satisfied that the construction is a legal construction. For example, the person going there would have to show a plan, a sanction plan, etc. The court would then admit the case and ask for the reply. And immediately upon considering the reply, if they find that it is an unauthorized construction, they will not proceed any further, they will dismiss the case. So in my experience, I can tell you that when an illegal construction is put up and an order of demolition is passed, unless you make out a very strong case as to why that order is wrong, the courts do not interfere. The courts do not bless illegal and unauthorized constructions, nor does this judgment in any manner bless any such unauthorized constructions. All it says is follow the procedure, and that is it.
So this is one of those situations, viewers, if you're listening, where if you're a law-abiding citizen, you have nothing to be afraid about. So if Aryama Sundaram or Arnab Goswami or any other person in this country owns a house or a flat or an apartment or a piece of land on which they've constructed the house and they have the registration papers for it and they paid registry deed taxes for it and they have got the title deed for it and they have also mutated the land in their name by paying the requisite amount and got it placed in the revenue records, and also with that, if they have followed the due process of law, which is to also get a clearance for the particular house construction, so that you have things like FSI and design which are approved and not breaking existing rules, then you have nothing to be afraid about. But, and that's where the big but happens, Mr. Sundaram, we are a country where people love breaking the law or dodging the law. Someone doesn't get their house registered, I don't want to pay the extra money. Someone doesn't get their house mutated, I don't want to pay the government the extra money. I want to get away with it. I want to do jugaad. Or I want to build an extra floor where it is not allowed. I want to break the law there. Only then you have to be afraid, right?
Absolutely. In fact, according to me, if you do such a thing, the law should come down on you with a very harsh and heavy hand. And I'm sure the courts will also support such a harsh and heavy hand on you for not following the law and for breaking the law itself. No lawbreaker can seek help from a court.
You can ask questions directly. I'm staying with the law part of it with Aryama and Sundaram. We have a caller from Hyderabad. It's the familiar voice of Upasana. Upasana, you can talk to Mr. Sundaram directly.
Hi, Arnab. Hello, Sundaram sir. And thank you, Anand, for raising this topic from time to time. Sir, I just want to thank you for clarifying on this because, the way Akhilesh Yadav is speaking, it clearly looks like that, the government is doing something against court orders. So thank you very much for clarifying that. I just wanted to know, is there a law to take action against such people who are, basically spreading wrong information or maybe just interpreting the court order in a very different way and spreading that information to a lot of people? So is there a law to take action against such people? I mean, that is very, very important because it always happens that, court says something and something else is, told to people or followers. Even social media influencers do that. So is there a way to stop that?
Well, that's something we find happening very often, unfortunately. Courts give their decisions, and the decisions are interpreted in various different ways by various different factions with vested interests. That often happens. Unfortunately, that becomes a comment on the decision.
Yes.
Of course, if by reason of your misinformation, you create, and if it's a deliberate misinformation, you create a riotous situation, or you create a situation which leads
provoke or incite people,
provoke or incite violence, then certainly you can be punished.
Mr. Sundaram, people are loving the fact that they're talking directly to you. Uday Kumar is calling in from Mangaluru. Viewers, I have limited time with Mr. Sundaram, so this will be the last call to him, please. Uday?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, hi Arnab and Namaskar Sundaram ji. Is it necessary that government should give again a notice to the illegal construction, or they can start demolition overnight?
No. The various statutes which deal with this matter, with constructions in general, always have a provision that if there's an illegal, unauthorized construction, the government may issue a show cause notice, giving a very short time. It doesn't mean months. It could be a week or 2 weeks to reply and to show and to prove that the structure is authorized. And if the person is not able to show it, then an order of demolition can be passed. And once the order of demolition is passed, it can take effect immediately.
Immediately. Yep, absolutely. Well, this has been so useful, Mr. Sundaram, because, what happens in a post-truth world is that we go by the logic of the reaction. What you have tonight is a position on the law. And I thank you, Aryama, for joining the program this evening. Thank you. And we have another legal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have Pinky Anand, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, joining the panel with Anila Singh of the BJP and Shantanu Gupta, pro-Bulldozers tonight, I presume, and Romesh Sabharwal, Anurag Bhadoria, Tausif Ahmed Khan, pro-TMC, Anurag, of course, of SP, and Ravi Srivastav.
Arnab.
Mr. Yeah, one minute. As usual, Anurag has started. Anurag, go on.
आज तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी बहुत
बोलिए हाँ बोल लीजिए you and Anila, nobody speak. Yeah, please.
सोच पे बुलडोजर चल गया. सोचिए समाज के अंदर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी अन्याय का बुलडोजर चला रही थी. कमाल है, किसी के ऊपर में आपने FIR की नहीं और उसके घर को बुलडोज कर देते थे। आप ये भी नहीं सोचा कि वो घर कब का बना हुआ है, उस घर में उसके छोटे छोटे बच्चे रह रहे हैं, उसके पेरेंट्स रह रहे हैं, और आप उसका बुलडोज कर देते थे, मकान गिरा देते थे। अरे कोई अपराधी है तो उसको सजा न्याय देगा ना, न्यायपालिका उसको सजा देगी। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार सजा देने लगी थी, इसलिए सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने कहा कि अधिकारी और सरकार जज नहीं बन सकते, जज करने का और न्याय देने का काम न्यायपालिका का है। ये न्याय देने लगे थे, सोचिए आप। और अभी नई बात क्या बता रहे हैं भाई, जिसको कोई भी इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन होता है उसको तो हमेशा ही बुलडोज किया जाता है, कोई नई बात तो है नहीं। इसमें रॉकेट साइंस क्या था, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया कि कोई भी कंस्ट्रक्शन अगर इलीगल बना है तो उसको बुलडोजर से बुलडोज किया जाता था, लेकिन उसके पहले एक प्रोसीजर होता था। आपको नोटिस दी जाती थी, नोटिस का रिप्लाई देते थे, आप पेपर दिखाते थे, पेपर आपके गलत होते थे तो आपका जो कंस्ट्रक्शन है गिरा दिया जाता था। यहां ना पेपर मांगा जाता था, ना आपके कंस्ट्रक्शन की कोई आपको देखा जाता था, बस आपके एफआईआर हुई है और आपका घर गिरा दिया जाएगा। इसलिए आपने देखा सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने आदेश दिया था अब ये केस में कि आप 25 लाख रुपए दीजिए उसका मकान बनाने के लिए, ये सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने दिया था। तब भी इनके समझ में नहीं आया। सर्वोच्च न्यायालय लगातार इनके न्याय, ये जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है बुलडोजर से न्याय दे रही थी, वो इनके ऊपर इनके न्याय
anyway, आपको बधाई हो, आप सबको धन्यवाद, आप सबको बधाई हो, क्योंकि आज ओपन, आपको बधाई हो अनुराग जी बधाई हो, क्योंकि आज आपके अलायंस को ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल बोर्ड ने कहा है कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंडिया अलायंस के लिए वोट कीजिए। तो खुली मुस्लिम पॉलिटिक्स आप कर रहे हैं, इसके लिए बधाई हो। आपको मुस्लिम बॉडी की खुली सपोर्ट मिल गई। ब्रेकिंग खबर है कि मुस्लिम बॉडी ने कहा कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ कांग्रेस और उन्हें सहयोगियों के साथ
आरएसएस ने मना कर दिया क्या कि बीजेपी को सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे?
नहीं, मगर आपको तो मुस्लिम बॉडी ने समर्थन कर दिया कि सब मुसलमानों को सिर्फ कांग्रेस और उनके इंडिया अलायंस के जितने पार्टनर हैं उन्हीं को वोट करना पड़ेगा।
न्यायपालिका
आरएसएस ने बोल दिया,
मैं तो बधाई दे रहा हूं आपको,
सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे।
आई एम गिविंग यू बधाई,
आप बधाई दीजिए।
आई एम गिविंग यू लॉट्स ऑफ बधाई।
नहीं, बिल्कुल बधाई दीजिए,
बधाई हो,
जनता को दीजिए। ये जनता की जीत है, ये जनता की जीत है, उन लोगों की जीत है जिसके साथ सरकार ने अन्याय किया है, उन लोगों की जीत है जिनका घर छीन लिया सरकार ने। आप किसी को घर दे नहीं सकते लेकिन उसका घर तोड़ देते हो, नहीं उसका घर बुलडोज कर देते हो। ये भी नहीं सोचते उसके बूढ़े माँ बाप है, क्या वो हिंदुस्तानी नहीं है?
आप क्या आतिक अहमद की पैरवी करने आए?
बच्चे जो 2 साल 3 साल,
आप आतिक अहमद की पैरवी करने आए? यू हैव कम टू सपोर्ट आतिक अहमद ऑन माय प्रोग्राम। Anila Singh is on the debate of the BJP. I want Anila to reply to this. Anila versus Anila, please. Let's open the debate. Anila Singh, please. Boliye.
My Ram Ram to all, and
Ram, please continue.
My Ram Ram to all, and I was very well listening to Mr. Bhadauria, and Mr. Bhadauria is again advocating for all those, the majority of people who come from one religious community and who are known to do illegal construction. So I totally endorse the views or the verdict or the statement which has been given by the Honorable Supreme Court that if the notices are being served and if the notice is not being recognized by the person, then the authorities have got all the rights to bulldoze it. So if I talk about the Bharatiya Janata Party governments in respective states, especially in Uttar Pradesh, we will keep on doing so. Government is keep on doing so. Bhadauria साहब, आप कुछ भी कहते रहिए, उत्तर प्रदेश में योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का बुलडोजर गैराज में नहीं खड़ा होने वाला है, काम कर रहा है, 2017 से काम कर रहा है, निरंतर काम कर रहा है, बिना भेदभाव के काम कर रहा है, करता रहेगा। अभी सुन लीजिए, क्यों लगातार बोल रहे हैं? आप बोल रहे थे, मैं बोल रही थी। सरकार और चिल्लाते वो हैं जिनके पास तथ्य नहीं होता, डरपोक लोग चिल्लाते हैं, डरपोक चिल्लाते हैं। आपकी पार्टी डरी हुई है। अखिलेश यादव जी और उनके प्रवक्ताओं को, उनके कार्यकर्ताओं को कानून नहीं पता। जो लोग अतीक अहमद और मुख्तार अंसारी जैसे लोगों के साथ सरकार चलाते थे, जो संविधान की दुहाई देके कार सेवकों को गोलियों से भूनते थे, जो अपने वोट बैंक को खुश करने के लिए लड़के हैं, गलती हो जाती है कहते हैं, आज वो हमें सिखा रहे हैं कि कानून क्या होता है। मुजफ्फरनगर के रॉयट्स कोई भूला नहीं है। आजम खान जो एक तरफा हिंदुओं के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करते थे और जिसको डिट्टो मुलायम सिंह यादव जी और अखिलेश यादव जी करते थे, कोई भूला नहीं है। योगी आदित्यनाथ जी की सरकार जो है बिल्कुल बुलडोजर चलाएगी, कानून के तहत चलाएगी। चलाएगी, नोटिस देकर चलाएगी,
कानून के तहत चलाएगी. Breaking statement on the program. Breaking comment on the program from the official spokesperson of the BJP following the Supreme Court decision is, "Hum bulldozer chalayenge." The representative of the Yogi government on the program tonight, Romesh Sabharwal, please note. Pinky Anand, please note. Shantanu, please note. She says, "हम बुलडोजर चलाएंगे, जरूर चलाएंगे, कानून के तहत चलाएंगे, नोटिस देकर चलाएंगे." Sabharwal, Mr. Sabharwal is on the debate. Mr. Sabharwal.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तमाचा मारा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तमाचा मारा है. इन्होंने नेचुरल जस्टिस छीना है लोगों का. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इनको चेहरा दिखा दिया है कि ये लोग जज नहीं है, ये लोग जज नहीं है. आप लोग कानून की बात करेंगे, अब आपको कानून के मुताबिक चलना पड़ेगा. आप कानून से बड़े नहीं है, आप संविधान से बड़े नहीं है.
ओपन फाइट नाउ.
बड़े नहीं है बेजीपी संविधान से बड़ी नहीं हो सकती. यही लड़ाई है भारत की जनता इसलिए लड़ रही है आप लोगों के साथ.
खेती लगाई है, खेती लगाई है. अब वो खरपतवार है ना, उसको हम उखाड़ कर फेंक रहे हैं.
आप लोग संविधान को मानते नहीं है.
वो खरपतवार जो आपने लगाई है ना, इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स, इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन, इलीगल काम, सब सफाया, चाहे केंद्र में हो, चाहे उत्तर प्रदेश में हो, चाहे मध्य प्रदेश में हो, चाहे राजस्थान में हो, चाहे हरियाणा में,
इलीगल देश से तोड़ते हैं, संविधान का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, संविधान का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, संविधान को अपने हाथ में लेते हैं.
नहीं, इलीगल काम की मां कौन? कांग्रेस पार्टी.
मुंह पे मिस्टर योगी के मुंह पे तमाचा मारा है
कांग्रेस पार्टी. क्या तमाचा मारा है भाई?
लगा है तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कुछ नाम लिया, योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का नाम लिया? कैसे?
Anila and Romesh Sabharwal only on the program right now. A 50-50 open fight between the BJP and the Congress tonight. 9:23.
बार ये जो
आप जिसका घर जाते
हैं, बार
तमाचा कमेंट
है
सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का
भ्रष्टाचार और गद्दारों का साथ देने वाली जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं,
कमिश्नर म्युनिसिपल
रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बैठे हुए हैं. योगी आदित्यनाथ के मुंह पे चाटा मारा है, योगी आदित्यनाथ के मुंह पे चाटा मारा है. अरे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक बार भी नाम लिया क्या योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का? योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का नाम लिया क्या?
क्यों नाम लेते हैं? सरकारों का नाम लिया जाता है,
जो मुंह में आएगा
सरकारों का नाम लिया जाता है, सरकारों का नाम लिया जाता है.
भगवान को आपकी पार्टी ने आतंकवाद से जोड़ा था ना,
सरकारों का नाम लिया जाता है.
मुख्यमंत्री है तो बहुत परेशानी हो रही है. हाँ, गुंडा,
25 लाख का फाइन हो रहा है, शर्म आनी चाहिए.
उनको आप एमएलए एमपी
25 लाख का फाइन हुआ है आपके ऊपर.
सरकार में शामिल करने तो बहुत गर्व की बात होती है. बुलडोजर और तेजी से चलेगा, और तेजी से हम नोटिस देंगे.
ब्रेकिंग न्यूज, बुलडोजर और तेजी से चलेगा, says BJP.
ठीक कर लो.
The bulldozer action will intensify, says the BJP on the program tonight, as Romesh Sabharwal loses his cool once again. Ladies and gentlemen, Tausif. Tausif.
Arnab, you can do whatever, but you cannot save this BJP government from paying the jurmana of 25 lakh rupiah, 25 lakh rupees fine that Supreme Court has imposed. You can do whatever. You can do endless debate, but you cannot save BJP from paying this 25 lakh rupees compensation.
One minute. Don't get carried away.
Arnab, you cannot do anything.
Don't get carried away.
In spite of all
you have not read the judgment. You have not read the judgment. You have not read the judgment. You do not know anything about the judgment. You are ignorant about the judgment. You have not read one line from the judgment. You have no right to comment on the judgment. You have not read one of the 92 pages of the judgment. You first read the judgment and then debate with me and then challenge me. Pinky Anand is on the debate tonight. Pinky before Shantanu. Pinky Anand's first response to the Supreme Court verdict and the ongoing political debate. Pinky Anand.
See, ultimately, Arnab.
Pinky Anand, please let us speak. Let us listen to her, please. Shanti. 1 minute. Yeah. Pinky Anand.
Arnab, the issue is very simple. Anything which is unauthorized is obviously liable to be struck down. It is the law of the land, and what we've been discussing, it is the local authorities which are empowered under statutes to take such action, including, of course, the normal process. All the Supreme Court has really done is to again reiterate the process and natural justice which is to be followed. But subject to that, linking demolition, unauthorized structures with any other subject is totally alien to the concept of what is going on. The Supreme Court has not gone into that area. It is simply to say that when it is authorized, then it will remain, and without any such authority, it will not be removed. But if it is unauthorized, then you will follow the process of law, and that law has been settled not today, but has been there forever. That is normal rule of law and administrative law, that notice has to be given, the parties to be heard. That is the only principles that have been laid down. Any minor violation or major violation of that is procedural violation. The question is not unauthorized construction and any person who is convicted or otherwise accused of an offence. That relationship, I'm afraid, is something which is totally outside the domain of what the Supreme Court has done, and it is a very unfair linkage that is being attempted to be drawn. Unauthorized structures will not be saved. On public roads, they will not be saved. On public space, they will not be saved. Ultimately, they have to go down, and that will remain the law of the land. So Supreme Court has been rather clear on that.
25 lakh rupees have to be paid. Pinky Anand cannot save BJP.
Tausif and Pinky now. Tausif and Pinky. She's not trying to save BJP.
Not giving up notice, not anything else.
25 lakh rupees Supreme Court has imposed this, you have to pay.
What Mrs. Pinky Anand
Yogi Adityanath have to pay 25 lakh rupees fine. And Pinky Anand cannot.
Why do you bring in the names? Why are you bringing in names of people? The question is of the officers concerned, not of anybody who you are raising as the head of the state. Where is the correlation between the two? I don't understand.
Can you save BJP? Pinky Anand, can you save BJP from paying 25 lakh rupees?
BJP is not involved in this. This is local authorities that take action.
No. It's Uttar Pradesh. BJP is in power. If BJP is government in Uttar Pradesh, can BJP government
I don't think you know the difference between political parties and executives.
No. BJP
and officers
is there in Uttar Pradesh, and there's a Supreme Court has imposed fine.
No, 1 minute. I think Tausif, one point. Tausif, first of all. See, Pinky Anand is a senior advocate. She has a right to her. She's not here to fight for a political party.
Why she's fighting?
No, why are you guys going personal on Pinky Anand? Yeah, she's arguing as a lawyer. What's your problem, Ravi? What's your problem, Ravi? You're being rude.
Whose government is there in UP, sir? Reply me. Whose government is there?
1 minute, Pinky, let me deal with it. Pinky, let me deal with this. I know how to deal with Ravi. Pinky, don't get into it. I'll deal with you. Ravi, come here. Talk to me. First of all, don't shout at Pinky Anand like that. Talk to me. I'll deal with you. Come, Ravi, come. Idhar aiye. Come, I'll deal with you. Come, I'll deal with you.
You tell me.
I'll deal with you, no? So I want...
What you will deal
you
with
come
me?
here, I'll deal with you.
Action against the
I will deal with you. I'll deal with you.
Should be taken from the retrospective.
I will deal with you.
Since when they have taken
Don't
these
quarrel
actions,
like that with
all
Pinky.
those officers
I am used
should
to
be
dealing
sacked.
with you. She's not used to dealing with you. I am dealing with
They have
you.
violated
I
the
will
law.
deal with
They
you,
should be
Baba.
sacked.
Come, I'll deal with all of you. Where are you running? Anurag Bhadoria kahan bhag rahe hain?
Of the chief minister.
Anurag Bhadoria kahan bhag rahe hain?
And where is the Baba Bulldozer?
Where is he running?
मुझे जाना है।
आपको कहीं नहीं जाना है, आप इधर बात करिए।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट बुलडोजर
जाना है, क्योंकि मैं बहुत खुश हूँ आज, क्योंकि लोगों को न्याय मिला है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट
तो मेरी बात सुनिए, मेरी बात सुनिए। अनुराग जी, बात सुनिए। क्या आप तब खुश थे? 1 मिनट। अनुराग जी, आपसे सवाल है कि जब कंगना रनौत के ऑफिस को तोड़ा गया, तब रवि श्रीवास्तव ने क्यों कहा कि बहुत अच्छा क्या उखाड़ दिया? बताइए मुझे। बताइए। बोला, you said you supported it.
किसी की बस्ती उजाड़ देंगे।
I never said it. You said it.
आज बस्ती की बस्ती उजड़ जाती थी, आपको दर्द भी नहीं होता था कि कोई कहाँ।
मैं बताता हूँ, मान्यवर, मैं बताता हूँ आपको बस्ती कब उजड़ी थी। शांतनु एक उदाहरण देते हुए, टू सर्व एन एग्जाम्पल टू द आर्गुमेंट की बस्ती जब उजड़ जाती थी तब हम सवाल नहीं उठाते थे। भैया मेरी बात सुनिए। आप रोमेश सभरवाल जी के कांग्रेस पार्टी को पूछिए कि जब राहुल गांधी के चाचा संजय गांधी ने ब्यूटिफिकेशन ड्राइव के नाम पर दिल्ली के तुर्कमान गेट में बुलडोजर एक्शन की, जब दिल्ली के तुर्कमान, चिल्ला क्यों रहे? रोमेश सभरवाल को बुलाइए। जब राहुल गांधी जी के चाचा संजय गांधी ने जब बुलडोजर एक्शन की दिल्ली के तुर्कमान गेट में, कितने लोग मारे गए और किस कोर्ट की ऑर्डर के तहत वो किया गया था? बताइए मुझे। जब बताइए, टेल मी व्हेन संजय गांधी carried out a demolition action using bulldozers at the Turkman gate.
Public land पे encroachment थी। पब्लिक लैंड पे,
ये भी पब्लिक लैंड पे है,
उनको बसाया था, उजाड़ा नहीं था।
ओके, आप बुलडोजर चलाते हैं तो बसाते हैं,
उजाड़ने से पहले
योगी जी बुलडोजर चलाते हैं तो उखाड़ते हैं,
उजाड़ने से पहले
What nonsense is this?
अरे उजाड़ते हैं भैया,
हम ये कह
बसाना versus उजाड़ना.
जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट
This argument is being made tonight makes no sense to me, makes no sense. Shantanu is finally on the debate. Shantanu. Shantanu, ladies and gentlemen, Shantanu, please. Do you support bulldozer action? Let me know. I want to play that on the grid. Yes. Let's cool down.
Arnab, whatever guidelines Supreme Court said today, nothing different in UP Urban Planning Development Act 1973. All the demolitions that done in UP and UP government, you know how much land the UP government, Yogi government has recovered? Almost 70,000 acres from the mafias, from the land mafias. Mulayam Singh Yadav were
louder for Shantanu, louder.
And what kind of land were these? Azam Khan, the minister, has usurped 80 acres of land and appointed him the chancellor of the university. You know about Mukhtar Ansari? Mukhtar Ansari's Hotel Ghazal? People used to call ये तो मुख्तार अंसारी का ताजमहल है. That was on illegal land, right? You know Atiq Ahmed. You know his bungalow was next to very near to Allahabad High Court on Chakia Road. That was demolished. And in none of these cases, they all went to court. They all running to the court. In none of the cases they got iota of relief because all the notices were served and demolition was exactly as per the norms of UP Planning Development Act 1973. And thanks to Supreme Court, they reiterated the same norms again. In fact, I'm thanking Supreme Court. And you know, demolition in UP happened yesterday, they happened today, and they will happen tomorrow.
They won't stop.
They can't protect Mukhtar Ansari's and Azam Khan's and
Yes, Anurag Badoria on the debate. Anurag back.
कमाई थी, सब जाएगी बेटा, सब जाएगी बेटा. आपकी भी होगी तो आपकी भी जाएगी.
शांतनु जी, आज तो बहुत दर्द है. आज तो थैंक यू भी बोल रहे हो. वाह 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 वाह.
अरे थैंक यू बिकॉज़ आप लोगों को याद दिला दिया.
थैंक यू भी बोलोगे, डबल
यूपी प्लानिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट.
louder अनुराग, louder, can't hear.
बुलडोजर चलाया था, लोगों का घर गिराया था, इसीलिए जनता ने आपको 33 पे समेटा था, हमें 43 सीटें दी थी क्योंकि हम न्याय की बात कर रहे थे, अपन न्याय की बात कर रहे थे.
अनिला responding back to the debate, useful bulldozer. Anila back.
हमारे स्टैंड एंडोर्स कर दिया. आज हम खुश हैं.
सर्वोच्च न्यायालय
आप तो बेगानी शादी में अब्दुल्ला दीवाना वाली आप लोग की हालत है.
बताइए,
हम खुश हैं. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा बिल्कुल गिराओ, नोटिस सर्व करो, गिराओ, नोटिस सर्व करो, जो भी लीगलिटी है उसको फॉलो करो और गिराओ. तो आप तो अब्दुल्ला दीवाना की जो रोल होता है ना, आप वो निभा रहे हो. समाजवादी पार्टी आज पूरा जजमेंट जो है ना पढ़ लेना,
चुनाव में वोट के माध्यम से
पूरा जजमेंट पढ़ लीजिएगा भदौरिया साहब.
सर्वोच्च न्यायालय भी थप्पड़ मार रहा है.
आज हम खुश हैं,
गलत कर रहे हो.
हम खुश हैं कि जो ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट है उसने एंडोर्स कर दिया जो योगी गवर्नमेंट करती है.
25 लाख
हम नोटिसेस भी सर्व करते हैं.
मान गए बीजेपी, मान गए भैया.
आप मुझे बताइए, आई वांट टू आस्क यू समथिंग. आप जो मान गए 1 मिनट अनिला 1 मिनट अनुराग नाउ माय काउंटर क्वेश्चन टू यू इज, और गंभीरता, धैर्य और ठहराव के साथ जवाब दीजिए. गंभीरता, धैर्य और ठहराव, सीरियसनेस.
अर्नब को मानोगे क्या? अर्नब जी बोल देंगे वही हो जाएगा. अब सर्वोच्च न्यायालय नहीं मान रहे, जनता को नहीं मान रहे. अर्नब को ही मान लो. अर्नब भी आज हमारे साथ है.
कौन आपके साथ है? मैं ना आपके साथ कभी था ना कभी रहूंगा.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी अन्याय कर रही थी,
पेरिश द थॉट.
हमारे साथ खड़े हैं.
ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट
आप आतिक अहमद के साथ जब तक रहेंगे मैं आपके साथ नहीं रहूंगा. आप मुख्तार अंसारी के साथ जब तक रहेंगे मैं नहीं रहूंगा.
न्यायपालिका से न्याय मिलता है, बुलडोजर से नहीं. और न्यायपालिका ने भी बोला है कि कोई अधिकारी, कोई सरकार जज नहीं बन सकती.
समाजवादी पार्टी, कांग्रेस पार्टी, टीएमसी पार्टी, बीएसपी पार्टी, ये सारे के सारे जो वोट बैंक की राजनीति करने वाले फूल्स पैराडाइज में.
Okay, my next question is, why you keep holding yourself like this? ये क्या कर रहे हो? ये क्या एक्शन है? You got hurt? सुबह किसी ने मारा आपको?
उनको
ये क्या कर रहे हो?
शंतनु जी को दर्द हो रहा है.
किसी ने मारा कि ओल्ड स्पाइस की ऐड कर रहे हैं?
सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का थप्पड़ पड़ा है, न्याय का थप्पड़.
दिख के तो लग रहा है कि आपको पड़ा है. शांतनु is on the debate. Since there is jaw is aching. Shantanu, he keeps doing this to the program.
Supreme Court has clarified to the mafia CEO of UP. You know who's the mafia CEO of UP? Akhilesh Yadav.
फैसला पढ़ लीजिए, फैसला पढ़ लीजिए,
समाजवादी पार्टी,
आपको समझ में आ जाएगा.
योगी आदित्यनाथ very rightly said. The Samajwadi Party is a production house of gundas.
पूरा ग्रीस और ऑयलिंग और कर दिया है बुलडोजर का।
प्रोडक्शन ऑफ गुंडास।
अब देखिएगा क्या धड़ाधड़ एक्शन होगा।
स्टेडियम बनाने की बात करते हैं, वो यहाँ जनसुमिस पार्क बनाने की बात करते हैं, पुलिस सिस्टम मजबूत करते हैं, 100 डायल बनाते हैं, 1090 महिला
पुलिस सिस्टम मजबूत नहीं करते हैं। मुख्तार अंसारी को
अच्छा, यूजुअली मैं पॉलिटिकल डिबेट पे लाइंस ओपन नहीं करता, बट आज मैं लाइन ओपन कर रहा हूँ। एंड मेरा सवाल है राइट नाउ, एंड इट इज टू एवरीवन। अनिला, मैं सबको एक सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, बिकॉज मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि मैं सबसे इन्फॉर्म्ड, सबसे वेल रिसर्च्ड एंकर हूँ न्यूज टेलीविजन पर। तो मेरा सवाल ये है,
सेल्फ सर्टिफिकेशन।
जी बिल्कुल, सेल्फ सर्टिफिकेशन।
you also use Old Spice. You take name of that brand. It's a good brand.
हाँ, ले लिया नाम, क्या करेंगे आप?
अरे खाली पीली आप एडवर्टाइजमेंट कर रहे हो। Not expected from you. Even today you cannot save BJP. Admit it.
अच्छा, now listen to me. Tausif, a serious question to you. Tausif, a serious question to you. Listen to me. Tausif and everyone. Can you tell me which page, which paragraph and which number in the 92-page judgment? Anurag ji, bhagiye mat. Which page? Anurag ji, bhagiye mat. No bhagoing. One question and you answer. Where, कहाँ पे योगी आदित्यनाथ या उनकी सरकार का नाम लिया गया है कि बीजेपी के किसी नेता का नाम लिया गया है? एक जगह, एक शब्द ये बताइए। नहीं, मैं आपसे सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ ना।
So are you denying?
मैं कह रहा हूँ तो नाम ही नहीं लिया आप। क्या व्हाट इंटरप्रिटेशन आर यू डूइंग? कुछ भी
जवाब दे रहा हूँ,
कुछ भी टच मी।
सुन लीजिए, उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में, देश के अंदर में जिस तरह से बुलडोजर चल रहा था, जिस तरह से आप लोगों के
ईयर इज एकिंग, कान में दर्द।
इसके लिए हुआ ऑर्डर,
किसके अधिकारियों पे एक्शन की बात सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर में लिखी, वो बता दीजिए।
एक जगह बताइए कहाँ पे योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का नाम लिया गया है।
किसके ऊपर फाइन लगा वो बता दीजिए। आप नाम लिख दीजिए।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में जो इलीगल बुलडोजर चल रहा था, जो अन्याय का बुलडोजर चल रहा था, उसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ब्रेक लगा दिया, उसको गैरेज में पार कर दिया, उसका डीजल भी खींच लिया। अब उसके बाद चलने के लिए
आज भी चलाया और कल
घटेगा मिटेगा। इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन कटेगा, घटेगा, मिटेगा।
नहीं, आप कैसे करेंगे? आप बताइए। आप तो बुलडोजर का स्टीयरिंग,
इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन जो है ना,
उसको
एक कानूनी प्रतिक्रिया के बाद
नोटिस देके करेंगे, क्या बड़ी बात है?
घटेगा, मिटेगा।
आपकी अगर देखिए, जैसे अनुराग जी, आपका शायद मुझे खबर है कि आपकी इलीगल प्रॉपर्टी है, आपको नोटिस देंगे, फिर आपके घर को तोड़ेंगे।
नोटिस देके क्यों नहीं किया आपने? अब तक नोटिस देके क्यों नहीं किया?
भी नोटिसेस दी गई थी।
All are done with,
everything has been done legally.
All are done with notices. 7.5 साल में इतना ऐसे थोड़ा जमा किया।
One second, those windows.
UP government has recovered 70,000 acres, sir. 70,000 acres from these land mafias. From these land mafias with Anurag ji and
Akhilesh you can take any
taping. Mukhtar Ansaris and Azam Khans. We thought, oh, they're leaders, they're MLAs and MPs, but we realized, oh, they're land mafias. They're land mafias.
ले लो, Anurag.
किसी को भी माफिया और अखिलेश यादव।
आपने पूरा अकबर नगर गिरा दिया। आपको याद ही नहीं है आपने कितने लोगों के घर गिराए हैं बुलडोज किए?
औरंगजेब सब जाएंगे। अब आप अकबर औरंगजेब जपते रहिए, आप अकबर हुमायूं बाबर औरंगजेब जपते रहिए, उससे कुछ नहीं होगा।
आपने गलत
वोट मिलना था वो मिल गया और नहीं मिलेगा।
की डिमांड की आपसे,
आप औरंगजेब जपते रहिए बस। औरंगजेब अकबर हुमायूं बस।
अरे आप जपते रहो,
सुनेंगे,
आपको सूट
बॉस नंबर देंगे,
बॉस नंबर देंगे,
बॉस टिकट देंगे चुनाव में।
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Christoph is calling from Bengaluru. I hope I have the name right. Christoph. One caller only tonight, viewers. Christoph, are you there?
Christopher, this is Christopher, yes.
Christopher, sorry, Christopher is there. Yes, Christopher, go ahead, please. We want to make your point.
Yes.
Louder.
This Akhilesh Yadav from the Samajwadi Party, he's forgotten his days where he used to basically, help these gangsters, land grabbers, land mafias, and now with the small verdict that the Supreme Court has made, stating that notices need to be served, and they're all excited about it. With this 25 lakh rupees fine, they need to recollect those days where people used to be thrown out of their own land.
Absolutely.
And now they are saying holier than thou.
Absolutely.
Did somebody go to court that time?
Okay, everybody's replying to you.
25 lakh rupees from a Supreme Court is a huge amount. Generally,
only for
impose a fine
unauthorized,
like that.
only if the
Generally,
structure is unauthorized, not if there is an authorized structure.
Penalizing UP government.
Okay, viewers, I'm running short of
5 lakh
time.
rupees fine is
I would just like to end with pictures of Kangana Ranaut's office being demolished. Now she's a member of parliament, but viewers, remember what is hypocrisy. In September 2020, the Congress Uddhav government did this to Kangana Ranaut's office. They said this is an illegal construction. At that time, remember all of these these pro-Bollywood types, all of the politically correct Lutyens types, all of them said that this was great action against Kangana Ranaut. At that time, the Congress was praised by the same lobby for using bulldozers on Kangana's office. The same people today question Yogi Adityanath. That is why I say they cannot be trusted. I think, viewers, bulldozers are useful. The problem is not with bulldozers. The problem is with those who use bulldozers against the law. The problem is with people who break the law and feel that because they represent a vote bank, they have the right to do what the hell they want. They must be called out. Viewers, we have excellent debates on the other side, and the news continues. It's a big news day when the All India Muslim Personal Law Board is backing the MVA Congress Alliance in Maharashtra.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Director, the taste of success.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
It is possible to explain every tariff that we have levied. It's not to control imports. But yet, do I have a responsibility towards the companies, for instance, in India, the capacities that is existing in India to produce some goods, and we go about importing those goods or those goods in broken down fashion and then reassemble them? Do we have a moral authority to kill or nip in the bud those who are growing in India and who can produce in India? I need to give that protection for them as well. As much as I have to encourage industries which need those imports. Imports are required. Intermediary goods are required to be imported. I will have to encourage that. I will lift the tariffs on them, provided it doesn't, intended or unintended, hurt my own capacity to produce. I have to balance the two.
Very important. It is not about the number of acres that this complex is encompassed in. It is not about the 3.5 lakh square feet of studio space. It is not about the hundreds of cameras or strobe lights or this beautiful auditorium. But it is about the passion that makes the Republic Media Network a one of its kind, completely special news organization in the world today. The fundamentals of this organization are very clear, and I must emphasize them again. What makes Republic special beyond the news complex, beyond what you will see today, is the fact that the Republic Media Network is the only independently